That's a part of being in any kind of a relationship, whether that's a friendship. Welcome to Dream Life Season Deep Dives. I'm Kimberly Cox, your host. I am so grateful that we are able to do this. If you don't know, Dream Life Season is a Monday through Friday morning show over on YouTube. And part of what I wanted to do, because I have a 3 ring method, okay, that talks about how your life as a neurodivergent um, creator, parent, all of that, right? There's like 3 parts to it, right? There's yourself. You are the center. You are the one who, if you can keep yourself going, if you can keep yourself like, you know, your cup filled up and keep yourself in that good space, then you have more to give to everybody else. Then you have your home and family. So whether that's kids, whether that's a spouse or significant other, that's your home, keeping up your home. That's all the things that deal with home and family. So whether that is, school and homework, and if you homeschool and all of that stuff, right, is in that area right there. And then we have our other ring, which is our passion project ring. Most of us love to have a passionate, we love to give, we love to share. And so, as creatives, a lot of us either have passion projects or businesses that we are working on. And so, this is that space where you can, kind of feel into all of the things neurodivergent business, neurodivergent creation, right? So I am going to take the weekly themes that we do in Dream Life season, and I'm going to do a deep dive for each of the rings every week. So this week, our theme, if you will, for the week is future self. Okay. We are talking about what it takes to get to know your future self. We are talking about how to step into that, the identity shifts that come with that, um, and how to find the habits that help us kind of jump into that. Okay. So, I want to deep dive. The first place I want to deep dive is the center ring, of course, which is self. Um, so, for self, I want you guys to take some time this week, okay? And I want you to really think about what lights you up, okay? Because if you know what lights you up, and you start going after the things that light you up, you start creating things that light you up, you start looking at things that light you up, you fill yourself up with the things that light you up, you do the things that light you up, you are about the things that light you up. You're going to find out. Even when you have to do the things that don't light you up, it's okay because you're so full that you have that extra energy to work with, right? I think a lot of times, especially as neurodivergent women, as parents, as, spouses, wives, whatever, a lot of times we are put in that space where we feel like we have to give up for everybody. And it's kind of the way that the world has trained us, right? You're supposed to, you are supposed to like give up for your kids, right? You sacrifice so that your kids can have better. You do things so that all the way around, like everybody else has better. And you're supposed to be okay with this because this is the life that you chose. I call bullshit on that. That is not true. That comes from a place of other people either not wanting to pull their own weight or other people not wanting um to see the shift. Okay, because when we start to put ourselves first, we're going to change the way that we do things once in a while. We're not going to say yes all the time. We're not going to always give to people. Sometimes we're going to do what makes us happy, even if it doesn't make everybody else happy. And that's supposed to be okay, because just like sometimes we give in and let other people have what makes them happy, we should have that same courtesy back. But a lot of times we don't. And sometimes we don't take it because we feel selfish ourselves, even if nobody's told us. Even if you've never, nobody has said, oh, what are you doing that for? That's selfish, or why do you need that, or whatever. We feel that way about ourselves. And then sometimes we do have the people in our lives who are like, but I need this and I need this more than you need that. And it's like, well, sometimes you're going to get what you need. And sometimes I'm going to get what I need. And that's how we have to do this thing, right? That's a part of being in any kind of a relationship, whether that's a friendship, whether that's, if every time, and you can think about this, if every time you are with somebody you are doing exactly what they want to do and you never get a say, or when you get a say your answer is always, oh, whatever you want to do. Sometimes I think legit, I will say, I've done that at times, and I've done that at times in a legit way. Like, I don't want to make up my mind what's going on, and it doesn't really matter to me what goes on. Other times, it does matter. Other times, it does matter, and other times, it can get to be frustrating. It can get to be too much when you're constantly giving and you don't feel like somebody else is meeting you halfway, right? And again, we talk about like a 50-50 relationship doesn't exist, but one person cannot give 85% all the time. That's not sustainable. They will eventually burn out. And then that other person is either going to have to pick up the slack, or if they don't pick up the slack, then that person who's, has to like recharge is going to have to work harder, and they're going to burn out faster. And that cycle is going to just repeat itself. So, I want you guys to think about the things that light you up, okay? This is important. I know that maybe sometimes we're like, oh, I don't really need to, or I can do this when my kids are grown. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be dealing with all kinds of emotions and all kinds of feelings, and things are going to be all kinds of different when your kids are moved out and you're by yourself. Figure out what you want to do, what lights you up, what you enjoy doing now, so that later on it's not as hard, right? Even if you only dabble in it now for a while, eventually you're going to be grateful that you already have something to jump into, right? So we can think of it that way. So I want you guys to just take this week, really think about the things that light you up. And maybe this is stuff from your childhood. Maybe it's stuff that you're like, well, I would never do that now. Are you kidding me? I used to love to paint, but I can't paint now. Like, I don't have a place and I don't have the stuff, and we come up with excuses, right? We do. It's so easy for us to be like, well, that's good for everybody else. I'm telling you, if you want to meet the version of yourself that is lit on fire, that is happy, that is excited, that wants to do all the things, let them do the things that light them up. Even if it's only a little bit, even if you buy, it takes you a month to buy. One week you buy some paint, one week you buy, some paper, one week you buy an easel or something, right? If it takes you a while, it's still worth doing. And while you're doing that, you can be, looking, right? Because I think sometimes that's the other thing that we forget, is that we don't necessarily have to do the thing in the moment. We can look at pictures and be like, oh, I would love to be able to paint that. Or what about that? Or I love these colors or different things. We can have a whole Pinterest inspiration board while we're working on getting the stuff together. And we can still feel that elated, excited, this is about ready to happen feeling while we're getting everything together. It's not like we have to wait until we have everything together and then, no, Do what you can. Little actions now are going to start to pile on top of each other. And before you know it, you're going to be in an entirely different place, right? What do they say? 1 degree course correction can put you in a totally different place if you just move 1 degree one way, 1 degree the next way, right? So I want you guys to take a few minutes today. Take some deep breaths. Journal if that's what you feel like doing. If you feel like voice journaling, I do that a lot. I have a ton of voice notes on my phone where I'm just talking to myself because that's how I best process stuff. I will just talk to myself over and over again until things work out. I think that's one of the reasons why, as neurodivergents, we love having like really close friends that we can talk to, because sometimes I don't need to hear what somebody has to say. I need to hear myself say these things so that I can make extra added connections that help me to move something forward or help me to understand something in a different way. So, whatever you have to do, journal, do voice notes, do a video. If you feel up to it, man, do some videos about your journey, right? Do some videos about your journey moving forward. Do some videos about the things that light you up. You never know. You might find people who love those same things, who live close to you, who could be like, who knows, you could find somebody, if painting was your thing, they could be like, well, I have an extra easel and I have some paints and you could come over, next week and we could do a painting session real fast. And then you didn't even have to come up with the things. You never know how things are going to fall into place until you relax, let go, allow things, but also are like realizing the things that light you up, realizing where you are, where things are going to help give you more energy, give you more of the things that you need. All right. So we're going to do that deep dive today, this week. We are going to figure out the things that light us up. We are going to figure out how, maybe not how, okay? We're going to figure out one small action that we can do this week. One small action. When you have that one small action, I want you to type it in the comments and let everyone know. That holds you accountable to it, so you have to do it. It also gives us this immense cheering section, right? Because we're all in this together, guys. If you're watching this, if you've made it to this point in the video and you are excited for this, you have a group of people with you who are ready to cheer you on, who are ready to help, help you to move forward. So, I'm excited. Let's drop that in the comments. Be on the lookout for, we're going to talk about what does home feel like home, and what slash who do you want to be known for and as. In the other 2 deep dives this week, make sure you are staying tuned to Dream Life season. I'm so excited for this. I cannot even contain myself. All right, guys, I love y'all. I will talk to you guys all later.